Hi, everybody. It's Dennis, the active trend trader. Are you one of the traders who has a difficult time finding great growth stocks to trade every weekend? Well, we've got the answer. Welcome to How to Make Money Trading Stocks and Options. We're going to cover three things. Our panel of expert traders has picked out three top shelf growth stocks that are setting up and ready potentially to trade next week. Number two, an analysis of the indexes showing which ones are strongest, which ones are weakest, and what the potential is for a move next week. And then we'll also cover another trading problem or issue that you may be having, and we'll provide an answer to that will help you, one, maximize your profits and minimize your losses. So let's get into today's session right now. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dennis Wilburn, the active trend trader. I want to welcome you to How to Make Money Trading Stocks and Options, plus some trading tips. I've got two trading tips today you're going to want to pay attention to. You may want to make some notes on it. I have, one of them is a trading tip that I learned about 30 years ago, and I never hear anybody talk about it today, but I'm going to save it for the end, so you want to stay through the end and get this tip. Maximize our profits, minimize our losses, and trade the active trend trading system. It's a tested, proven system, clear and simple design. Shows you what to buy, when and where to buy it, when and where to sell it, and what to expect. And so what do we do on Friday afternoons? We get together, and I get together with a couple of my friends, and we talk about stocks. Now, these guys have been around. No, let me put this the right way. They have been around trading for quite some time. They are fantastic in what they do. They are elite traders, and I'm talking about Anil Parikh and Steve Ferreira. Welcome, gentlemen.
Good to be here.
Yeah. Anil, good to see you.
Good to see you. This is fantastic to be here.
So we are ready to go ahead and get going. If this is your first time with us on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell, and you'll be notified whenever I post new content to the Market TikTok, my YouTube channel. So let's take a look. Just always a reminder: materials are presented for training purposes only. Traders should always pay per trade any new method prior to the risk of their own personal capital. Here's where we're sitting as of just closing in. Last 3 days of June coming up. And we had a little bit of a hiccup early part of June, as we've seen throughout the year. I know you guys were saying the same thing, Steve and Anil, that, basically it's been, almost like 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, and just really, a tough time shaking out this market. And I was reading an article in Investor Business Daily today giving a warning about what's going to happen. And again, they're projecting, and it's an opinion. Always remember that. Anything you see in writing is an opinion if it's looking to the future of what's going to happen in the market. But they're basically highlighting some potential pitfalls the market could fall into going into the rest of the year. And I saw Catherine was on board. I hope you're still on board, Catherine, because I am going to review that stock you sent me an email on, and I'm excited about it. So here's where we're sitting. As you can see, active trend trading, we're starting to catch up with the market indexes. I'm looking through the end of the year like the markets could more or less go sideways. We could be trading in a range anywhere from, I would say, a 7 to 8% gain for the markets up to perhaps 20, 25%, which is great. I mean, those are really awesome, returns. So I'll throw out a question. What do you got? What does everybody think is going to happen now that there seems to be a deal in the works for a infrastructure bill that's going to pump a lot of money into the economy? I think that's going to be a good thing, bad thing, no thing. What's it going to be? You just leave a note down here in the chats. Steve, Anil, what do you think about the that potential bills that will pass.
I think it's business as usual. Money's coming into the system. We're off bottom. We're getting better. We're getting stronger. We'll continue. I think it's bodes well for the market.
Okay. Anil?
So too, I think it's going to help. And in my opinion, it's going to carry the rest of the year, I think.
Okay.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Anil.
So do you think all this, the borrowed spending will cause us to hit a wall? Now, again, this is projection. This is our opinion. Do you think it'll cause the economy or the market to hit a wall and go splat in 2022?
It'll hit a wall, I think, at some point. I don't know when. I think we'll see signals when it occurs, but I think it's quite a ways off. It's not imminent.
Okay, not tomorrow. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Short-term good thing, intermediate unknown. Nancy's going to kill it unless she gets more pork. Yeah, so I'm not going to. Yeah, I know. So I'm not going to go there. But hey, let's jump into the indexes themselves. What am I seeing in the index? Again, we basically have a nice move to the upside. We had broken out on the S&P of this level. It was a failed breakout. We basically cut up, put in a hanging man, then reversed back down to the downside. What's happening now? We're getting a breakout to the upside above this past high. So what do we have? We have higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We're on an uptrend. So let's not argue with the market and look for opportunities to where we can trade the market. As it's standing, okay, the strongest level of support seems to be, at least on the S&P, seems to be on the 50-day moving average. So what should we expect? I would anticipate some kind of or this uptrend trending line. And this uptrend has been in place since when? October of last year, and actually a little bit longer. We could actually stretch that back to about May of last year. This uptrend has been in effect. So we'll look for any time of pullback back into the uptrend line, and that's going to coincide with whichever index, whichever dynamic support of the moving averages happens to be there. But price action is pulling up. The one thing is that, please do note this though, is look what's happening with the volume. We had nice big sell-off, so larger sell-off volume than buying volume. And the buying volume appears to be drying up. Would not be a surprise to see I would like to see a more significant, I'd like to see a 7 to 8 to 10% pullback going into the summertime. And again, we could be hitting the summer doldrums on that also. What else we got going on here? What about our buddy Qs? The Qs. Okay, Qs in the process. We had a quasi shooting star yesterday. I'll just call that a spinning top doji, which is a mark of uncertainty. If price action on the Qs finish up where they are on the NASDAQ, we will have a bearish engulfing pattern. However, a bearish engulfing pattern when we're in such a strong uptrend is normally reflective of just a pullback into the moving averages, and so that's what has happened here also. As we know, we had a breakout failed, came back, hit this stronger uptrend line here twice, and then off it went. 1, 2, 3, 4 days up, and today's the 5th day. What does, as long as we're here, let's take a real quick look at the NASDAQ itself. Let's see if it's also, yeah, currently NASDAQ is showing that we're getting a bearish engulfing. When the bearish engulfing is of this size, okay, doesn't have a very large magnitude, everybody. And so what we can take away from that, stop it. What we can take away from that is that a bearish engulfing like this is not as significant as some of the others that we can see. However, what are we going here? We are getting a little bit of negative divergence. We're approaching levels of resistance. How many days? We've gone up 1, 2, 3, 4 days up. And you're going to know why I'm counting the days up in just a little bit. So that's what we got with going with the NASDAQ. If you're a premium member, you know that I sent out a bear call spread on the Qs with the anticipation that we're going to get a little bit of a pullback first part of next week. And if not, it is a very small 1-to-1 ratio, and we took a very small position. If it comes in, great. If not, that's okay too. IWM. The Russell really kind of basically, punched the gas here. Looked like it was just going to fall apart, and now we're pushing all the way back up towards the level of past resistance. Be aware, we do have lower volume, a negative divergence on the momentum indicators as we approach this level. That big sell-off day right there, that dark cloud cover there is actually still in effect as a bearish reversal signal, and will stay in effect until we break out above that on either an intraday or a longer term basis. All the moving averages on the Russell are stacked to the upside, which is a very positive thing. For the rally to continue, though, we need to take out that high, and then it gives us a significant projection to the upside for IWM. And I'd be looking at what I'm looking at right now is any kind of a pullback back into the moving averages. I'm going to look for a trade, either an option trade and or a trade in TNA. Premium members, you'll be looking for that trade in TNA going forward, which is really, really good. So that's the other side that's, I won't call it a negative, but it's slowing the progress down a little bit. As you can see over here on the weekly chart, the MACD is still has not crossed to the upside. However, the TSI appears like it is crossing to the upside. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see July, August, a little bit wishy-washy. September, and I think we're going to get the traditional September weakness, and then a stronger push into the end of the year in October, November, December, which is great. So, guys, how do you see it?
I don't disagree. I think we're actually quite bullish. We're near all-time highs where we broke out to. I can understand the wall of worry, but I think there's nothing to worry about until the market rolls over.
Okay.
Not so yet. Yeah.
Anil?
On my indicators are still bullish on SPY and the NASDAQ, Russell, as well as Dow. Dow is, I got a small signal, but basically it's okay.
Okay. So, hey, I'm going to jump over really quick. And so there's no area to short this or anything like that at this particular point, but there's no signal saying, hey, I'm reversing hard down to the downside. There's some clues that we're saying that maybe weakness might come in, but keep trading the pullbacks until they stop trading, until they stop working. Hey, I got a special request today, or this weekend, or this week, to take a look at Harley Davidson. And Catherine or Kathy, I really appreciate you sending this one in. One of the things, and I really love her approach on it, she noticed that there were, the Harley Davidson, either manufacturer or the sales floor people were just actually buying a whole bunch of Harleys and all that kind of stuff. And she was wondering what kind of effect that was going to have on the price or on the stock itself. Is Harley Davidson a buy? Whenever I get a question like that, I always go back and start at the IBD stock checkup. And I put in Harley, and look at Harley. Harley has a composite rating of 70. That sucks. Excuse me. That's a technical term saying it's not very good. What else is going on? Composite rating is 70. Market's in an uptrend. You keep bopping down here a little bit. EPS, that's its earning per share rating, 46. That's red. That's not good. And I get down into this level here. Look at all that red. Now, the EPS change for the current year, yeah, that looks really good. And who knows? Harley may be a turnaround potential, but it's got some pretty nasty stuff going on here. Look at that debt to equity, 344%. Sales growth, a negative 11. Some of the other things I take a look at are get rid of those drawings. Accumulation and distribution, a B minus. Okay, that means somebody is buying the stock. Changing, percent change in funds owning, it's going down. The funds are not, jumping on the bandwagon yet. Up down volume 1.4, which is 1. If it's above 1, means that there is some buying interest. And so, like I said, that doesn't look very good. Let's take a real quick look at let's take a look at Dennis Wilborn. Excuse me. You guys ever talk to yourself like that? You ever catch yourself calling yourself your middle name occasionally because that's what you're
First sign of insanity, Dennis.
What's that?
Talking to yourself.
Nah, I talk to myself because I like to have discussions with intelligent people.
The second sign is hair on your knuckles.
That's right. Hey, look what's happening with Hog. It's in a downtrend on the daily chart. It's on a kind of a slight uptrend. And this might be what you're seeing, Kathy. If I was going to be looking at this just from purely the technicals, one could make a case that, hey, let's buy some Harley. However, what you want to be also doing is taking a look at where, so you can draw a line across there. And when you were over there on the, and so I would, if I were going to be buying Harley, I would want to buy Harley off the 20-day moving average, or this is the 20-week moving average, which corresponds to approximately the 100-day moving average. It has, and or wait for it to break back above this high here and then pull back into the moving averages and up. Another stock that it grades out much higher and looked pretty good was Yeti. Yeti, look at that. Much better looking stock. Nice strong uptrend. And again, don't answer yourself. Funny, Mark. You guys making fun of me. I'm feeling picked on, man, I tell you. So that's what we've got, Catherine. I hope that helps you. It helps explain some of what you were asking about. Now, let's jump into the great stocks that the guys have come up with, the elite traders. Steve, you're up with
okay. My picks Progeny. It's got a great weekly chart. It's an IB50 stock.
PGNY, right?
PGNY, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
1P.
I transposed it. There you go.
Progeny. It's got a nice weekly chart. It looks like it's in a bit of a pullback, and I think it's buyable. Aggressively buyable today. You want to be more conservative, buyable on Monday if we take out today's high.
Okay.
I like the chart. It's got a nice trend. It's pulled back. So on the weekly, it's pulled back to the 20 period. I'm sorry, the 8 period EMA.
Right.
I like it's holding near the 50 on a daily chart. Let me change my chart.
There you go. That's the 50.
Holding near the 50, and we put in 2 inside bars after a reversal bar. I like that kind of price action.
Okay.
Above today's high would be my entry on Monday, or if you really want to trade today, buy it right now at
Okay.
the money and anywhere in this today's range.
Yeah, PG&Y was one that we traded over this past week and came out on my list for the Power Rank Elite, not the Power Rank Elite, but the Autopilot top 5 pre-flight checklist, with the anticipation it was going to hold there at the 20. Didn't. We were stopped out, but now it's reforming. So it's still on my buy list, but I just don't have it set up yet.
And it's holding what I call an axis line.
Yeah.
You look at the prior high near your red arrow on the left side of your chart.
Yep.
That was a breakout high as we moved higher, and we pulled right back to that level.
Yeah. It's
a beautiful place that we should technically hold. Looks like we're holding. I think it's poised to move.
So sounds good. Yeah. Now, Anil.
Yeah, my stock for the week is Tiger. That's TIGR.
Got it.
And it passes one of my toughest screen on fundamentals. So, and I think it moves quite a bit percentage-wise. Today, I think it was up as high as 7 or 8. Now it's at pullback. And so maybe it's the right place to buy today.
Okay. So you've got a, you have, so you'd buy it off the 8-day moving average, or just approximately you would jump on it right now?
Yeah, jump on it right now because it has gone up and now pulled back.
Okay. And so excellent. I like Tiger. I also am looking for a place to get in on Tiger. And I also like PG&Y. Those are really great. So you guys are going to be absolutely shocked by the one I'm going to pick.
Go ahead.
You're sitting down.
You ready?
Yep, I like it. I like Ford.
Ford Motor Company.
Believe it or not, it was my number 2 stock for today.
Okay. Ford, basically, it's number 1 in its industry sector, ahead of Tesla, believe it or not. I actually, all full disclosure, I bought some down here to sell covered calls on. But it was really hard to sell covered calls on it as it made this 40% move. Taking the same type of projection, if we have a symmetric move, which we had from this low to this high, then we're pulling back to a higher low. The upside target on it, 100% projection, is up here at 1961. And if it goes on up to the 1272, it gives the projection up at $21. So those are my upside targets. Is it buyable right now? Yeah, I might want to wait and see if I get any closer to the 20-day moving average, because it is kind of starting to tick down. But I really like it to the upside. And it also has weekly options with really close. Somebody's written some. Sorry, guys. Oh, thank you, Catherine. Yeah, Dick's worked out really well. Unfortunately, I didn't have my entry low enough to get in. Hopefully, you also who got to play of the premium members. Who got to trade the the RVLV trade. I hope you did, because it hit 24% return this morning. So. Good for you, Jeff. You killed it on RV. Awesome. I love that. I love that when a plan comes together, So, okay, one of the tips I wanted to leave you with, and Steve and Anil, you probably have this, but it's something we don't talk about a lot, is basically it's about counting the days. And it really works well on the indexes. Because what happens, it's basically getting into and understand the rhythm of the individual indexes. And also it gives you a flavor for when to anticipate that a potential move could be over. So the rhythm of an entity is normally, as you can see here on the cues, go back in time, go through back about 3 or 4 of its different moves up, and from the low, count the days up until it stops. And so in this case, we would have, here's its low, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it drives sideways, starts to pull back. How many day pullback does it have? Well, 1, 2. Then it goes up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Drives sideways a little bit. And then what did it do here? 1, 2, 3. So somewhere between 3 and 4 is the cycle. If you come in and see the stock, and it has already run up, like today, we've gone up 1, 2, 3, 4 days up. We know that there's a tendency that it will run up 4 to 7 days and then slow down. Doesn't mean it's going to fall out of the sky, but then it will go into a 2 to 3 to 4 day pullback. You know that the momentum has totally changed on the entity when you get your 1, 2, 3 or 4 days up. Here's your 4th day up. And then it drops 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4. It works the same way, either going up or down. So if you find yourself evaluating a stock or an ETF, and you can identify its rhythm by counting the days, it can give you a better potential entry potential, and therefore increase the probability, because now you'll be sitting there going, okay, I've pulled back 2 days here. It's normally 2 to 3 days. I need to be watching for the reversal. Pow, there it is. I jump on that. It runs up, or I jump on this reversal. It runs up 1, 2, 3. I should be ready to take some profits there. See how that works? It's a little, like I said, it's a little, and Steve, Anil, have you guys processed that before?
Yeah, it's something I do on a regular basis. And for me, my window on the indices are about 5 to 7 bars one way, and I'm starting to expect a very good probability of a pullback of some sort.
Right on. Anil?
I learned from my friend Mike Alamar, who runs Wall Street IO.
Yeah.
He counts Heikin-Ashi charts, and the Heikin-Ashi cycle is about 7 days.
Right.
On the Qs as well as S&P. So I usually look at the Heikin-Ashi.
So yeah. So if anybody has never heard of that before, please just hopefully you can take that and use it. So gentlemen, thanks for a great session today. I'm glad we were able to. Well, we covered a lot today, and now it's time to say, kind of like Roy Rogers and Dale Evans, happy trails.
And many more to come.
That's right. So let's go ahead and just finish things up, and want to say, hey, if you're not a top 5 autopilot trading member, you need to get on board, and so you can put your trades on autopilot. I'm really pleased with the results that we've been having this year. Our downside trades are averaging less than 5%. Our upside trades are averaging more than 14%. And so we're really doing a great job of letting our winners run. And so that's one of the things. So if you don't know about it, just learn how to put your trades on autopilot. And the monthly on it, it's normally $79.99. The monthly is $19.99. And there's the link to go there. That'll also be down in the description on the YouTube channel. So, oops, that is no longer in place. Sorry about that. So, yeah, we had a 2 day special last weekend, and if you missed it, It was a really good deal. So, hey, so 2021, consistent and disciplined wealth building. That's what we're after. Keep growing the egg. And premium members will be up at the top of the hour for the final hour. There's my contact information. And so, Stephen and Neil, thank you very much for a good session.
Pleasure to be here.
And so, aloha, trade well, everybody, and prosper. Start building now. And mahalo, God bless. And remember, hit the subscribe button and the bell. And then a new training video will be up right there above my finger. So have a great weekend, everybody. And Anil, I look forward to talk to you after the market.